So, I'm going to start off this video by acting rather smug. I know it, you know it, we all knew it. We knew that Chris Evans would be back as Captain America. We knew that Robert Downey Jr. would also be back in the MCU. It was inevitable that these two guys were going to come back to the MCU at some point because their careers outside of the MCU haven't exactly been on fire. And it was just kind of inevitable that they were going to be back to some degree at some point. But anyway, Chris Evans coming back as Captain America. This is super exciting, but it's kind of like, I almost kind of knew that this would happen. I mean, we've got 2 Avengers movies coming up, and you're telling me that Chris Evans wouldn't be there? Of course he's going to be there in Avengers Doomsday, and of course he's going to be there in Secret Wars. It was just inevitable that he was going to show up, and we were kind of just sitting around, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for the announcement, and here it is by the looks of it. This is so exciting, so let's get into this news of Chris Evans coming back as Captain America, and let's break down this news and see what we can learn about what's going on here. So this comes to us from Comic Book News, comicbookmovie.com, I should say. So Captain America actor Chris Evans joins the cast of Avengers Doomsday, but who is he playing? Who is he playing? Surely he's playing Captain America, right? He wouldn't be playing Johnny Storm, I wouldn't imagine. And I couldn't see him playing any other character. But then again, I guess we're in multiverse territory. There's, you know, unlimited amounts of variants of all these different characters. So we could potentially have Chris Evans coming in as Batman or playing Superman or, you know, what? No, obviously not. Obviously, he's not going to be playing a DC character. But you guys know what I mean. When we're in the multiverse, he could end up being anybody. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Dr. Doom. So no characters and actors are off limits here. Chris Evans could literally be anybody. So yeah, let's go down and see what's going on here. So it's been confirmed that Avengers Endgame and Deadpool and Wolverine star Chris Evans has signed up to make his MCU return in 2026 Avengers Doomsday. But who will the actor play? Here's what we know. So the Wrap reveals that Chris Evans will return to the MCU in Avengers Doomsday. The actor, best known for playing Steve Rogers, Captain America, appeared in Deadpool and Wolverine this summer as the variant of Johnny Storm, aka the Fantastic Four's Human Torch. When he showed up in Deadpool and Wolverine, and everybody thought he was going to be Captain America, and then he shouts "Flame on," and he basically takes off into the sky on fire. Like, my cinema got the biggest pop, and it was so cool to see him back as the Human Torch. It really was, and it looks like he had a lot of fun with that role in Deadpool and Wolverine. He was having fun with it. It wasn't too serious. It was kind of like a small cameo role for Chris Evans, and it looks like he was having a great time kind of playing that role there. So when we last saw him as Steve, it was the closing moments of Avengers Endgame when he passed the shield to Sam Wilson. Obviously, that old man Steve Rogers scene, that was fantastic. And at the end, we saw him finally getting to dance with Peggy in his house at the end of the movie. And it was a really gut punch, heartwarming scene to see him finally getting time with Peggy. Having travelled back in time to return the Infinity Stones to their rightful place, Cap chose to remain in the past with Peggy Carter, and he got his happy ending. Yeah, like I was saying, that ending of him and Peggy dancing is really, really nice. It's a beautiful moment. That meant coming back to the present as an old man, and while not confirmed, it's since been strongly hinted that the hero has died. The multiverse opens the door to many possibilities, and all the trade has learned right now is that Evans will be involved in some capacity, but the extent and exact nature of his role is unknown. Okay, so we don't actually know who he's going to be playing. We don't know what his role is. We don't know how big it is. So we're kind of left in the dark at the moment, but it is pretty much damn confirmed now that he is coming back as Captain America. I'm not really surprised by this, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there probably aren't all that surprised. We knew that Chris Evans would be back. We just didn't know what movie and what role and the capacity in which he's coming back. We still don't know those things, but now that we know that it's pretty much officially confirmed that he's coming back, that's great. It's a sigh of relief because we knew he was coming back. We just didn't know when. But yeah, I mean, he's always welcome back. He's one of the pillars of the MCU. He carries the MCU on his shoulders, and the fact that he's been missing for so long, it's been felt throughout the MCU. It's actually like his presence being missed. There's that part of the MCU DNA that he carries with him and Robert Downey Jr. carry with themselves that's just felt like it's been missing. And there's like a Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. shaped hole in the MCU that hasn't been filled for the last few years and has absolutely been felt by the audience. So when it comes to who he's playing, the possibilities are endless. Like I said, in the multiverse, he could literally appear as anyone. He could potentially be playing another villain, similar to what Robert Downey Jr. is doing with Dr. Doom. I mean, that would be an interesting take. We have Robert Downey Jr. coming back, but as a villain. And then we have Chris Evans coming back, but oh no, he's going to be a villain villain as well. That would be interesting. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Though a Captain America variant seems likely, yeah, I guess if you've got Chris Evans coming back in any meaningful way, you would assume that he's coming back as Captain America, and that's most likely what he's going to be doing. But coming back as a villain, that would be a really, really interesting twist, and I think fans would go crazy. So, Robert Downey Jr. will also return for Avengers Doomsday, albeit as Doctor Doom instead of Iron Man. Tom Holland is also expected to take on the lead role as Spider-Man. Yeah, I mean, outside of sort of Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man and Chris Evans, Captain America, the most popular character, hands down, in the MCU, maybe apart from Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, it's got to be Tom Holland's Spider-Man. He's right up the top with the most popular of the characters. I mean, you look at his last movie, it nearly made, what, like $2 billion? What was it, like 1.9, was it? The last Spider-Man movie? So having Spider-Man in the lead role, it would absolutely make sense and completely understandable why they would do that. So, Evans first played Captain America in 2011's Captain America: The First Avenger. I love that movie. I watch it every year. It's such a fun movie. And worked with Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars director, the Russo brothers, for the first time on 2014's Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Yeah, the thing is as well, like, it's the curse of the MCU. So these actors and the directors, they haven't exactly had hot careers outside of the MCU. I mean, the Russo brothers, they've done a few small movies here and there, but nothing of any noteworthy, like nothing that's been really regarded as really that good outside of the MCU. And some of the actors inside the MCU, Chris Evans hasn't had a hot career, Robert Downey Jr., the guy who played Thor, I'm completely forgetting what his name is, so I do apologize. He hasn't exactly had a hot career either. So yeah, it seems to be a bit of a curse. Like, these characters are so popular that the actors struggle to find good work outside of the MCU, which is a shame. So where are we? He'd go back on the rack up along. He'd go on the rack up a long list of MCU appearances, even making a cameo appearance in 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming. So, last November, Evans was asked about rumors he's gearing up to play Captain America, and he said, quote, so Chris Evans said this, "You know, I always see those reports too, and it's news to me. I think every couple of months someone says that they're getting Downey and Chris Hemsworth and Scarlett Johansson and everyone's coming back." Chris Hemsworth, that's his name. I couldn't think of Thor's name. Yeah, Thor's name. Yeah, I was just going to say, outside of the MCU, Chris Hemsworth, he's done a few good movies here and there. The Extraction series on Netflix, that's landed quite well. But he hasn't really had a major hot career. You know, he did the Mad Max movie that he absolutely did incredibly well. He acted well in that Mad Max movie, Fury Road. But unfortunately, it bombed and didn't make any money. He added, "No one's spoken to me about it, and look, I would never say never, but I'm very protective. It's a very precious role to me, so it would have to be just right." Yeah, absolutely, that makes sense. Tom Holland's pretty much said the same thing about Spider-Man ad nauseum. I would come back, but it has to be the right script. It has to be the right role. All this kind of stuff. It absolutely makes sense. The legacy of Captain America in the MCU is one of the best character arcs in the MCU, so it makes sense that he'd want to be protective of it. Evans has often refused to close the door on playing Captain America and shared similar sentiments to these back a few months prior. "I'll never say never just because it was a wonderful experience," he said, "but I'm also very precious with it. It's something that I'm very proud of, and and like I said, sometimes I can't believe it even happened. And I wouldn't want a black eye if it felt like a cash grab, or if it didn't live up to expectations, or if it just felt like it wasn't connected to the original thing, so no time soon." Yeah, that makes sense. He doesn't want to be in some, you know, crappy Captain America movie that feels like it's half-assed, that he's going to get bad reception on, that it's going to tarnish the legacy. So all that stuff makes sense, that he wants to come back, make sure that the character's done right, that, you know, justice for the character. So, you know, all that kind of stuff absolutely makes sense. So, Avengers Doomsday is set to be released in May 2026, with Avengers Secret Wars scheduled to arrive in May 2027. So, as an MCU fan, over the next few years, it's going to be explosive. We're going to get a lot of news very quickly. When the rumor mill starts cycling up about Doomsday, about Secret Wars, there's going to be plenty of MCU content to go around on this channel, guys, so make sure you stay tuned. But that's kind of everything that's going on with Captain America and Chris Evans at the moment. So let's just finish on this. Chris Evans will be involved in some capacity, but the extent and exact nature is unknown. So it's kind of crazy that, like, Captain America Chris Evans is confirmed to be coming back for the Avenger movie Doomsday, but we don't actually know which role he's playing, which is kind of strange because you would think it would be confirmed that he's Captain America, but he's not. He could be a villain. He could be another character that we've not even considered. He could be reprising his role as Johnny Storm like he did in Deadpool. So the possibilities in the multiverse are absolutely endless when it comes to him returning for this Avengers Doomsday movie. But guys, I throw it off to you. You hear this news that Chris Evans is confirmed to be coming back in Avengers Doomsday. What character, what role, what extent, what, what kind of, what's going to be the extent of his role? Which character do you think he's going to be playing? I would love to know your feedback. So leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions down below in the comment section, guys. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be very, very excited to hear he's coming back. Although, we kind of knew it anyway. We kind of knew it. Don't act like you didn't know. So anyway, guys, make sure you hit that like and consider becoming a subscriber of the channel here at Review Flicks if you haven't done so already. It goes a long way to supporting the channel, and I would love to have you guys around here as a subscriber. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next video.